Understand these pieces of evidence of corrupt conduct against the head of the institution and some other officer that you have mentioned within the institution is something that you have, but you are not willing to submit that evidence to officers who are lower than the SP.
Absolutely.
The question has been asked, why don't you make public this evidence of yours?
Okay.
So that even if eventually, by the manner in which you have cooperated, if you submitted it to them, it cannot be compromised.
Excellent. So we are on it. I gave the general public a tip of the iceberg.
Your first corruption allegation was about that the SP is a double agent and he's compromised by Ofori-Atta, and that's why he let him go.
Yes. Yes. So, yes, let's come back to it.
That's something you can prove?
Let's come. In French, I will do. You will see. The double agent, I didn't necessarily tie it to the Ofori-Atta case. I made it general. So you see this Kingsley Agyemang. His friends, he's doing it for friends on the other side. That's double agent. So I've proven it by what this Kingsley Agyemang case. I'm home and dry.
I'm looking to see the documentation, and yes, also because the law requires that the other side should be heard.
Yes.
So that the other side, the person being accused, yes, eventually should be heard so that we can tell.
Absolutely. That's why I say I'll give you those two because people are daring me. So I'll give you those two. So double agent, I didn't necessarily say only to the Ofori-Atta case. I said double agent generally. So this Kingsley Agyemang case, it passes. Kingsley Agyemang with the MPP. And Kisi Jabin was appointed by Kufuor MPP government. Yeah, so he's working for the other side. So I'm done, even with the Kingsley Agyemang case alone. Now let's come to Ofori-Atta, this core of the matter. Look, Samson, doesn't it beggars believe that Kisi Jabin, the special prosecutor, first-class graduate of the University of Ghana, would tell you that he saw Ofori-Atta leave, but he was powerless. And before saying he saw him leave, before that he said, before Ofori-Atta traveled, he, Kisi Jabin, intercepted the letter Ofori-Atta wrote to the outgoing chief of staff and to the incoming chief of staff. And then based upon it, he now sought help from NIB. Allegedly, didn't get help. I have my letter from NIB where they've denied. I wrote to them, did Kisi Jabin come here to seek help to arrest Ofori-Atta? They said no. And apart from NIB, he said he went to immigration service. They didn't help him. I have a letter there. I'm sure they will respond soon. Then he went to national security. He didn't get help. And he couldn't blow the whistle. Samson, you are one of the pioneers of whistleblowers. I mean, in terms of educating the masses. You know, you are a colossus. We have to give credit where credit is due. You know how you've mentored a lot of us, and today we are helping in the fight. So we shouldn't forget that as Ghanaians, right? And he couldn't blow the whistle to say, okay, if all these institutions are not helping me, then the ultimate masters of the nation, the ultimate owners of the nation must know. So I'll do a press conference, or I'll put out a press statement online, and then the rest of the media will pick it. That Ofori-Atta is about to travel out of Ghana. I want to arrest him, yet these institutions are frustrating me.
I've heard you say this repeatedly, that even you would have gone to the airport.
Absolutely. You can trust me. I would have been at the airport.
Seriously mean that?
Oh, I would have been there.
That
yes.
A whistle should be blown.
Yes.
So that citizens will mass up at the airport to stop Ofori-Atta from traveling.
Yes, when we say airport, you know, the airport, there are precincts. So it's to draw attention. We go to part of the airport, then begin to attract media. That's how we do it. Just like when I was arrested, you see how, and thank you very much, multimedia. I understand you were streaming my arrest and making efforts to get me released. The same for TV3, that's Media General, okay, and other media outlets. Thank you. So that's the power. That's the power, that as soon as word gets out that Ofori-Atta is about to travel and these institutions are allegedly frustrating Kisi Jabin. What? Oh, me number one. I would have been the one at the airport massing people up to come there so that we generate the attention.
Expect that in a democracy of the rule of law, when things have to be done in accordance with law and some order. And at a time when the person had the permission from the highest place, who else should countermand that permission?
The people of Ghana, because Sam, you taught us, sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana. That's Article 1 of the Constitution. Sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana, Article 35 of the Constitution, 1995. Sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana, Article 125 of the Constitution. And many other provisions of the Constitution, even though they don't use sovereignty, what they are saying is that ultimately, Ghana belongs to Ghanaians. So when you hit a roadblock, go to Ghanaians and inform them. And that's what Martin Amidu did. You remember that?
But that was a call for disorder.
No, that's not disorder. That's the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't prevent that. Because and the theory of sovereignty is a powerful thing.
As we understood, he was sick. He was seeking help.
Yes, absolutely. So just like what Kisei Jabin did to me, just as you and I are talking now, I had to give him landed property in my name to secure my bail over a matter in which a soldier abused me. So for me to be reasonable, Sam, I've been in the media space for at least 9 years consistently now, right? It's not my suggestion that Ofori-Atta could never have traveled. What I understand the law to be is that if he was arrested, like we said, 1 minute is done, the arrest is done, detention is a different matter. And so, Ofori-Atta, we have 5 cases against you. These are the figures involved. Give us bail, 1 billion, whatever the figures are. You know, Osei-Sibe's case, his bail was originally set at 800 million, brought to 623. Right. He's still asking for reduction. So all I'm saying is that they look at all the cases and decide a bail for him. So if he had arrested him and gotten sureties, gotten various sureties for his release, etc., the conversation would have been different. Don't forget, Kisei Jabin is, what do you call it? We say loosely a friend, not body, right. But we've been in the same space with Kisei Jabin for 27 years now.
Ongoing, and now the onus is on the Attorney General through the extradition process, the Attorney General and the presidency to ensure that Ken Ofori-Atta is brought back.
Too little, too late. Too little, too late. And it's neither here nor there. In the meantime, the OSP has suffered disrepute, ridicule, contempt that our chief prosecutor doesn't even know how to summon help. That as chief prosecutor, and you have powers of, arrest under Section 28 of the Special Prosecutor, Office of Special Prosecutor Act. Your suspect, your most valuable suspect, he has 5 cases, is leaving the country. You don't know how to blow the whistle. That tells you that is crass
That brings me back to the issue you raised about he saying that he sought help from NIB and the rest and he didn't get help. At the time, in the previous regime, I'm sure you were aware that the OSP, that office, had a lot of difficulties because there was generally no cooperation from the police and the other offices.
I no longer believe it. It's a ruse. And that's Sami Dako.
But you and I became aware that that was the situation.
That was, so yes, that situation, I believe we're just being poisoned. It was just poisoned. They were giving us false information. You see, with time, we've unmasked them. The time he arrested Cicely Adapa, why? Was it not under Akufo-Addo's regime? Manasseh Azure, when he did SMA, private investigators, private investigators. Kisei Jabin drives around in a bulletproof car. Does Manasseh Azure have bulletproof? Does the Fourth Estate have even 1/100th of the 1,000th of the resources the special prosecutor has? It's a ruse. It was just a convenient lie to allow a lot of the rot to go on. Is it any wonder that subsequent information is shown that Kisei Jabin started the SML investigations in January 2025? Another blatant lie he told in the KSM interview. So I'll tell you, Sam, I'm happy you said that.
But they had